Hey guys, Ozzy here, and I'm back with another one of these videos. Today I'm going to be looking at every Hokage that's existed within Naruto and giving them a matchup and describing the connections between them. If you're going to enjoy this video, then make sure to like, subscribe. Again, all the thumbnails in this video are made by me. Some of them I think are okay by comparison to my other ones, so yeah. Let's just get on with number one. For Hashirama, I do like Hashirama versus Yoriichi, but not only is it a massive stomp, but I just prefer the other one much more, and that is Hashirama versus Goldie Roger from One Piece. They are the greatest legends of both of their worlds, being the first Hokage and the King of the Pirates. They were both boys from a strong family, the D's and the Senjus. They wanted to change the world, but both in different ways. On the course of their journey, they had a fight and killed their greatest rival, being Rock's D Zebek and Uchiha Madara, because of their different ideals and needed to settle things up. They left their lands for their comrades to rule, being Tobirama and Whitebeard. Their stories have a lot of fate and destiny parallels involving it, and possibly even reincarnation, but that's not confirmed yet in One Piece. Both died a long time ago, but their worlds are inspired by them and by their dreams and what they believe in. Their will has been inherited by their new generations, and both also share a similar colour palette as well, along with the Naruto versus One Piece rivalry as well, which just makes it better than Yoriichi for me. For Tobirama, I actually had two matchups I really liked, and I couldn't really decide between them. One vibes and one has more connections, so I'll start with the one that vibes more first. Tobirama versus Kyoshi. They are two ancestors of the heroes of their stories, who, despite being recognised for their achievements and successful in their lives, made bad decisions that the future generations would feel. Also just general vibes, as I said, and the one that actually does have connections is Tobirama versus Mace Windu from Star Wars. They are two serious warriors by comparison to their elder, who is much more jovial and charismatic, being Yoda and Hashirama. Both are willing to take hard decisions that their elder leader won't make. They are both have been surrounded by war and do anything to preserve their nations. Because of their distrust and mistreatment towards a person or group of people, being Anakin and the Uchiha, it would lead to many problems in the future, including a massacre, being the Jedi and the Uchiha. They'd both die in battle trying to protect the people who they tried to, protect. I could have explained that better, but, it's vibes. I mean, it's kind of a stomp, but again, it's alright. Now for Hiruzen, there was only really one answer for me, in my opinion. It's Hiruzen versus Isaac the Taro from Hunter x Hunter. They are two elderly anime guys who hold the highest positions of power within their respective stories. Despite their age, they are incredibly powerful and are teachers. However, we're much stronger in their respective primes. They both die fighting against a main villain, however still played a part in the defeat of the specific villain due to inflicting something on them which would last, being, Hiruzen just nerfing Orochimaru and Netero poisoning Meruem, so meaning that the sacrifices weren't in vain, and generally this matchup is, pretty good. I think Hiruzen does win, but according to my Discord server, Netero wins, so, I'm here to be proven wrong, I suppose. For Minato, there were a few matchups that I did consider, like Minato versus Flashy Flash, and if you want to go down the whole speedster ninja route, then I guess that is the best that Minato has. However, in my opinion, Minato versus Bardock is his best option. Now, I know many people see this matchup as just mid, as it's just Minato or Naruto's dad versus Goku's dad, but there is a little bit more to it than just that. Firstly, they are the two dads of two of the most popular main anime characters to date. They've both fought in wars and battles that predate the events of the main story, and end up dying to protect their sons against a foe who they would later go on to fight their sons when they grow up. They also both have golden super forms, which are lesser forms that their sons would have, but are still pretty strong in their own right. And both Goku and Naruto didn't even know that they were their fathers, as they grew up under someone else after their deaths. And I do think it's actually quite close as a fight as well. I will cover it at some point in the coming months as well. I think it's quite good. Tsunade. Again, there's only really one option for me here. It's Tsunade versus Cynthia from Pokemon. They are two blonde female fighters who achieved a lot throughout their journeys, becoming Hokage and the champion. They both influenced the protagonist of their original stories that they debuted in, as well as to help the protagonist along with their dream, eventually passing the crown of their achievements to the protagonist at the end of the story. Naruto becoming Hokage and Cynthia, stepping down as champion. I do think this vibes quite a lot. I mean, you could probably argue it's either a stomp for either of them. I mean, I don't know, maybe you can argue it's a close fight. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I should add this guy in because he wasn't officially named Hokage, but he was an interim Hokage, and I figured there's not really any other point I'd get to talk about him, and that is Danzo. And I do like Danzo versus Kamado, but I just don't think it's as good as the matchup I picked for him, as I picked Danzo versus Funny Valentine from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're two patriotic anime villains who became the leaders of the country and are stereotypically known as the good guys. They have both fought in wars to collect specific powerful items, which contribute to them eventually getting one of the most broken abilities within their respective verses. However, are killed be killed by someone partially out of revenge by killing someone close to them, as Valentine killed Gyro and Johnny killed him, and Danzo was behind the Uchiha massacre and Sasuke killed him. It's not Valentine's best, not by a long shot, but I do actually quite like this, and it'd be kind of cool to see Colonel Matsukami counteract with D4C Love Train, in my opinion at least. Kakashi Hatake, yeah, if you've been around my channel for longer than 5 minutes, you probably know where this is going. It's Kakashi Hatake versus Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. They are two male anime characters with white hair who teach people. They both come from a bloodline of notable people, but are undoubtedly the strongest of said bloodline. They are known for being a teacher of the three main characters. The main character has a literal demon inside of him, a loud female character, and a guy from a cool clan. Most of Gojo and Kakashi's powers come from their unique and overpowered eyes, and are known throughout the rest of the world because of their power. Yeah, I just really like it. Again, I'm covering this at some point in the future too. Naruto. Now, I did have a few options here. Naruto versus Luffy is my favourite for Naruto and Luffy, but I have already talked about it a fair bit, and there is another matchup I'll talk about after this as well. There's also Naruto versus Ryuko, which is underrated, but not as good as Luffy or the one I picked. For the matchup I picked here, I picked Naruto Uzumaki versus Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. This matchup has just been growing on me a lot recently, so I figured I would talk about it. They are both blonde-haired, blue-eyed protagonists from a popular series which influenced a lot of their respective genre and media. They are children of destiny whose fathers sacrificed themselves in order to save their sons, Minato sacrificing himself to save Naruto, and Anakin sacrificing himself to save Luke. Both aspired to become great masters and earn titles highly respected within their worlds. Naruto wanted to become Hokage, and Luke wanted to become a Jedi Master. Their stories would revolve around being a fallen hero who would eventually redeem themselves and help these two, being Sasuke Uchiha and Darth Vader. Both were trained by wise old mentors who had taught their fallen friends, being Kakashi and Obi-Wan Kenobi. They were both secondary chosen ones whose predecessors were trained by wise masters but turned to the dark side due to the pain of loss and are physically related to them, being Nagato and Anakin. They both possess iconic weapons and techniques that were passed down to them by their fathers and teachers, being the Rasengan and also, the lightsaber that Anakin owned as well. They were both raised as orphans, not knowing their true identity or fate of their parents. They both wield the power naturally found to them, but must be careful when using said power, as Naruto can use natural chakra, but if he's not careful, he'll turn into a frog, or become the nine-tailed fox and kill everyone. And Luke can use the Force, but if he's not careful, it'll kill him. Both also learn to use these powers by cranky tiny Muppet with a stick, being Fukaku and Yoda. Again, this has just been growing on me a lot recently, and I figured I'd talk about it, but my favourite for Naruto is still Luffy. And yeah, that just about does it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe. I do intend on making another video similar to this, and probably next week actually, to do with making a matchup for every single Akatsuki member. So, yep, I'll see you all next time.